Hello and welcome to Bayonne today. We have a very exciting show in store for you today. We have some very familiar faces, people that you may have seen around town, specifically in the downtown area as of late. We'll go back in history to the different places I recall they worked and had fun and met. We are here today to meet Deb and Lou from the All Fit Studios. Deb, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Di. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. You, of course, are sitting next to your very handsome partner, Lou.
Hi.
Hi, Lou. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. I'm so happy that the both of you could join us on the show today. It's you both have brought something to Bayonne that is welcome, is needed, and shows how spirit and health play such a major role in our lives as we are young, and then especially as we get older. What has been your experience at the studio with your clientele? Tell me the age group.
We have our youngest member is 6 months old, and our oldest member is 82 years old, your newest client. And we try to explain to people that if they start taking care of themselves young, then when they get old, they don't have to say, gee, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
Exactly.
So we try to impress that upon people. So we have Mommy and Me yoga, we have teen yoga, adult yoga. Lou does one-on-one yoga. We do kickboxing, Pilates type classes. I'll let Lou talk about the yoga though, because that's his forte.
Now, what I'd like to know, can you give us a little bit of a history of yoga and how you got involved in it, Lou?
Oh, wow. Well, yoga started thousands of years ago in India. How I got started in it. I was a member of the Forum Fitness Club back in the late 80s and
90s.
90s? Okay.
So sorry.
And, well, taking the different classes, I became involved in, or a fan, I would say, in all the different types of classes. And one thing led to another, and one day the owner asked me to become an instructor.
Okay.
And so one thing led to another, and I became a yoga instructor.
So you had a private practice. You had a practice that you were doing at home on your own.
No,
or?
it was just from started at the Forum.
Oh, just like that.
Just like that. I really was not. I didn't go to the gym often, although I sometimes would exercise on my own little bits, but never really formally. Because of the Forum, I did really become really involved in it, so I have them to thank for that. And it's been a roller coaster ride that I loved and hope it never ends.
Now, your involvement in yoga actually pulled, I would imagine, pulled Deb in as well?
No,
or was it more?
She pulled me in.
She pulled you in?
Yes, she is the exercise guru, if I may, for all her life.
Okay.
And that's why I went to the Forum, because of Debbie. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Now, I know you're mentioning the Forum, but I recall seeing you at the Y.
I was also at the YMCA.
You both worked at the Y for a while.
Yes. We worked at the Forum, if you want the history on that. We both worked at the Forum. From the Forum, we went to the Dolphin Fitness Clubs, it used to be, which is now Impact. We stayed there for a few years, and then we went to the YMCA for about 6 years.
Okay.
While at the YMCA, we opened up our own women's only studio, gym, Debbie Lou Fitness.
Debbie Lou Fitness, I recall
that.
That
was on 13th and
right
Broadway,
up above what is now the liquor store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and most people remember that place as Hawaiian Gold,
Yes.
the tanning place. But we're not tanners. And then we closed that after a few years, and within a week of closing, we opened up All Fit Studios.
Now, All Fit Studios, for anyone who might not know, where it's located. The address is, Deb?
196 Broadway, and it's directly across the street from the downtown post office.
Okay.
And we get a lot of traffic because the people are walking to the light rail or going into the post office. And we love that little downtown area. It's great. It's a nice little community. We know our neighbors. They know us. It's very nice, and we've done well there.
Well, you're in the Bergen Point area, the Bergen Point Village area,
Yes.
obviously, has taken on a whole new persona, and you see lots of very interesting businesses opening up.
Yes.
You have a really nice condo project on your corner.
Right
that
next
should,
to us.
Yes, that when
Yes.
that's completed, I'm imagining that that's really going to will bring you
I'm
more
excited
people as
about
well.
that. Absolutely.
It's always nice to see. It's interesting because that was one of the original spots in Bayonne where development started back in the early 1900s as far as businesses, and now we see that it kind of turned a little bit for a while, and now it's coming back again, but in the most interesting ways.
It sure is interesting.
Now, I will also bring up the fact that before the yoga, before what's going on now in your life, I recall both of you from a tiny little shop that was in the town center, because we're using all of these little spots that people recognize and remember. There was a beautiful pastry shop called Little Paris.
I loved
Hell
it.
yeah. Little
Now, who would
cafe.
like to expand on Little Paris?
Okay. Well, I worked there with my niece, and it was a great little place.
It was
and they had
beautiful.
those great croissants.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
with the little cucumbers on your sandwich, and it was wonderful. I loved it, and I thought, wow, Bayonne. And I had just really I had been living in Hawaii, and I had just come back and started working there, and I thought, wow, this is great. This is going to, Bayonne's like Manhattan now. It's terrific. And then Lou started coming in.
Now,
as
he
a
told
customer.
he told me a funny story before,
You
which
wanna
I
tell
think,
the
would you
story?
like to
Would you
share?
like me to share that?
How you met Deb?
Would you like me to
Yes.
share? Oh,
People
my.
like to know these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we met in 1985.
Okay.
And I was just out of the Navy. So I figured, let me go down to Broadway and see if there was anything new happening around town. Of course, first thing I noticed was the Little Paris, the little French cafe. So I peered in the window. Oh my God, what did I see? This exotic-looking creature. That'd
Okay.
be-
That would be you.
That's
That would be
Debbie.
me.
Okay.
Okay. And I flipped head over heels as soon as I saw her.
Wow.
I did. I just knew she had to be mine.
Okay.
Didn't happen that way though.
No.
No.
And you also thought she was French. You
I
thought
did think she was
somehow.
French. Well, what happened is it was what she was wearing, and she was wearing a olive green pleated skirt. I'm going to go through the whole thing. I'm sorry. She
My
had
husband does the
sandals.
same thing. He knows exactly what I had on the first
Sandals,
time.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She had sandals on. She had a white manteled shirt tied up to the belly button, open down V-neck style. She had a wooden beaded necklace on. She had two-tone hair, almost like what she has now, but
Hey.
one side was short, the other side was long. The long side was the two-tone,
Okay.
very pretty, blonde and brown. And I just saw her sashaying across the floor, and my heart dropped.
And here we are. How
And
many
here we
years
are.
later?
Almost 29.
Almost 29
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
And she's still
Sashaying in great
she's-
shape and
yes,
still
yes.
making my heart pound.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. That's a wonderful story. That's another story for another time.
Another time.
But I mean, the important part of love,
Yeah.
okay, and of spirit, I think are a bit of a foundation for yoga.
Yeah.
I know that your studio has helped many people learn to meditate.
Absolutely.
Can you
Absolutely.
expand on that for us a little bit?
Well, unfortunately, we live in such a fast-paced society that we undergo so much stress and duress throughout our daily lives. We forget how to breathe. We forget to take the time to breathe just a little bit, and to know that nothing is as important as our life. And so through meditation, breathing exercises, yoga practice, we can learn how to connect our breath with our mind, with our spirit, our soul, our body as well, and just learn to relax and take it easy, one day at a time. Really, it's important. If not taking away from the meditation part, but I just want to add to what Debbie said earlier as far as our age groups. our age groups do not start at 6 months. We also do prenatal yoga.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, so I want to make sure that you know that. It's very important to know that it's throughout life, not just during the course of your life, but as we're creating life. Yoga is in existence. And I have a saying that I like to do, or my mantra, is that life happens and yoga fixes it.
Yoga can fix it.
Yoga can fix just about anything, if not everything.
And you have found in your experience, obviously,
Definitely.
that you've seen people come into the studio
Oh my, we help everybody from the young, knowing that they can have confidence in themselves, the young kids, the way they thrive with yoga, the teenagers to the adults also gaining confidence, feeling better about themselves, gaining more flexibility and strength, breathing better. Oh my, so many things. It's endless. Helping my oldest client right now, that is 82, could barely sit. Now
really?
she sits and stands without a problem. And it happens quickly, as long as you're able to let everything else go. Meaning not be so tense on yourself or hold judgment toward yourself.
So you're talking about the fact that the mind is basically controlling what the body is doing.
Absolutely.
And through meditation, through yoga, and through exercise,
Yes.
the increase in oxygen, I would guess, as your
Yes,
body becomes more
absolutely.
oxygenated,
Yes.
it helps
It's
you.
all about the oxygen, Diane.
It's all about the
Yeah.
oxygen.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
That's it. The first thing we do when we're born is take a breath. The last thing we do when we pass, take our last breath. So all those breaths in between are what keep us going. Without oxygen, really, our bodies cannot exist. So when we practice yoga, and we say practice because you can do yoga 3 times a day like Lou does, or once a week, or once a month, whatever it is. But the thing about yoga is that it's a practice that continues. It's a continuum. It never ends. The greatest yogis that have ever been have always said that they practice. So you're striving for the ultimate. No one ever reaches that, but we try. And meditation is almost like prayer, and it is prayer.
Exactly.
It is prayer. And some Buddhas use the prayer beads, as do some Catholics. They use the rosary beads. It's all the same thing, and it's that meditation that keeps you focused, not on thought, but some people think that meditation is the absence of thought. It's not the absence of thought. It's the ability to let the thought come into your head
And let it go.
and let it go.
Yes.
Another thought's going to come in your
And
head.
that is very difficult to do.
Yes.
It's I can
It
understand
really
why
is.
it's a practice.
Yes. And you know, they say that, you know when you make soup and you're stirring the soup and you're kind of staring in the pot and you kind of get lost for that second? That's it. That's what you want to reach, just that point where there's nothing there. And you kind of come out and you go, whoop, where was I? Or another way to explain it is, it's kind of crazy, but you know how when you meet someone and you fall in love, and maybe the first time you kiss, and then when you're not with them, you think about that kiss and that little feeling that comes over you. That's like meditation, because you let yourself get lost in something else other than what's going on around you.
So we've had two times the word love came up, which is great.
Right.
I think it's all about the love. All we need is more love, obviously.
Right, all we need is love.
And all the world needs is love.
Right.
I'm seeing that the direction of where we're going, and I mean, just the looks on your faces, I mean, are just so joyous and uplifting. Any conversation I've ever had with you, any time we've ever met, whether it was at Little Paris, at the Y, my goodness, at Dee Dee's.
Oh, that's right.
At the Indies.
At Dee
Oh,
we
my.
can turn a visit at Dee Dee's into an experience that
right.
most people have no idea
That's true.
they would even have the ability to do. But I kind of think that because of the way we think and the way we feel, not only about what you're doing at your studio, but kind of what we feel about the town.
Yes.
Yes.
I know you have
Absolutely.
family here still. Tell me about your kids. Tell me about your extended family.
Okay. We have 3 children. My youngest is a Bayonne police officer. My middle son is right now building a business on Avenue E. It's called the Warning Track, and it's batting cages for
Okay,
kids.
cool.
And my older son is not in business, but he has health issues.
Okay.
So, you know,
Okay.
you could have 3 children, 2 children, and each of them is going to have their own special thing. But yeah, and the boys are all in town, and they love Bayonne, and I love Bayonne.
Grandchildren?
I have 7 grandchildren.
7 grandchildren?
My oldest granddaughter is 24, and my youngest is 2 years old.
Wow.
So
And I know that I've seen on Facebook many pictures that you put out there, and I know the kids are all involved, especially Brenna.
Brenna's
Brenna,
amazing
my God.
yogi. She's amazing. She's 7, and I'm hoping maybe by the time she's 10, she'll be teaching her own class.
Really?
I really believe she will.
She's very flexible, my
She's-
goodness.
But she works at it. She really, a lot of kids are really naturally flexible. And she really wasn't, but she will practice, and she has that. And she's very energetic.
And she's very much like
You
her
know Brenna.
like her grandmother.
Right.
Yes, I
Yes.
do know Brenna
But,
very well.
You know.
Uh-huh.
But when she settles down to do yoga, she just calms right down. At night, she does a 20-minute yoga that's on YouTube, and she puts her little mat down, and she does her little thing every night. Yes. And she loves it. But when she comes to the yoga studio, she, if Pop's teaching, she gets upset because she doesn't like the fact that he has to give attention to everybody else. So she wants to sit on his lap, or she wants to be next to
course.
him.
Of course.
So we have a little
Always.
situation with Brenna with
That's
the
not a situation.
yoga
Well,
studio.
It's good.
You brought
Yeah.
you brought up YouTube, and we were discussing before the fact that Lou has a client in
Sardinia.
Sardinia that he Skypes with.
Yes, correct.
Okay, please expand on this new way of.
Okay, it's quite simple actually. We just started recently a new program, and we're trying to expand on it. But like anything else, it's going to take time, and it is Skyping right now, where we do it like a FaceTime talk through the computer. With using the use of the cameras on the computer, I could see my client, she could see me, and we situate the computer so that I can see a full body as well as the feet and the floor, so I can direct, thank you for the loss of words there, how and what to do during the yoga session so that you don't hurt yourself, and that I can take you to a nice calm place and just help you to meditate. Because ultimately, in yoga, what we want to do is to meditate, to find that euphoria in our calm. All the exercise that we do, it's only one of the limbs of yoga. That's the smallest part of yoga. The pranayama, which incorporates food and how we eat. And
Okay.
there's a lot of different arms to yoga that we expand on, but mostly the physical aspect of it.
Okay. What talk about the diet? Are you vegetarians?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I'm not a vegetarian.
No,
Okay.
I was for 20 years.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened. One day I had to have a cheeseburger.
Really? That was it.
That was it. I really mean it. Actually, it wasn't a cheeseburger. It was a hot dog
A hot dog.
in New York
Wow.
City.
Okay.
And
Oh my
it
God,
was
you told.
it was 9/11,
Okay.
and was not even a week later. And we had to go into Manhattan, and it was the weirdest feeling there because everything was quiet. And I said to Lou, I think I'm going to eat a hot dog.
Wow.
I know, it was really crazy. And I said, if you tell, I'll lie and say I didn't eat
Well,
it.
you only just used your Cablevision appearance to tell the world about
Right,
the hot dog.
that I ate the hot
okay. Okay.
From
So.
the hot dog truck, the dirty hot dog.
Okay. Well, that's okay because
okay.
now we know that you're not vegetarians.
I'm
I just
not a
needed to
vegetarian.
straighten that out. Okay.
No more.
Because I really wasn't sure.
Right. No,
Right.
I was for a very long time, though. And it's
Okay.
a great lifestyle. But sometimes people, when they become vegetarian, they oftentimes supplement their diet with a lot of carbohydrates,
And
which
sugar.
isn't necessarily healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So to be a vegetarian or to be vegan, it takes a lot of planning, and you have to choose your foods carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, even juicing.
Juicing, that's something that's very popular
It
now.
is very popular, but people juice and they make these drinks that are very sweet because they're using fruit or beets, carrots, and those things are so high in sugars that when they drink them, their blood sugar goes up. We have a member of the gym, and she's an older girl, and she's a diabetic, and she was juicing, and she said, I don't know what's going on, my blood sugar's through the roof. And I asked her, what are you doing? And she told me, and I said, you have to stop. If you're going to juice, just use green vegetables and things like that, which isn't very tasty, really. So, you know, you have to be careful with this juicing craze that's going. It's coming back. It was out for a while.
Yeah.
It died down. Now it's coming
It's
back.
coming back.
Infomercials, you know. Juicing.
Well, they're selling the bullet. They're selling
Right.
things on
Sure.
television,
There it
you know,
is.
which would encourage people. I mean,
Well, that's part of it.
that's definitely part of it.
Yes.
But for you both to be here and to be talking about a different way of living and a different style of living and incorporating this into your life. Now, a good point that I would hope you can bring out is how often do you have classes? What is the time schedule? Are you open Sunday, 24/7?
May I?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's great because I wanted to also add on that.
Okay.
We do yoga 7 days a week. Okay. Monday through Thursday, we do it in the morning and in the evening. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the morning. But we don't just do yoga. We also do an arrow kickboxing class. We do a class that I created called Body Works. It's a yoga-based class, strength training class to help build up the muscles.
Do you use weights?
No,
Do you,
so just your body weight.
It's all your body.
It's
Okay.
a yoga-based class.
Okay.
Just yoga.
You're only using your body. Okay.
Yes. And we do another class called BLT, better known as Buns, Legs, and Tummy.
Okay.
Not the sandwich, bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Yeah, I know, which is good too. Did you? I'm sure you've now. Well, whatever. She's not a vegetarian anymore, so of
Loving
course.
that bacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we teach, and the kickboxing is thriving as well. It's a very active, very fun class. I choreograph all my classes
Okay.
to music. Oh wow! And
He's a great instructor. He really is.
thank
He's
you.
great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. More than anything else, we create a lot of fun, a lot of raving fans, and so we're just hoping to keep building and offering more to the community.
Do you have a Facebook page?
We do have a Facebook page, and we're also on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, probably all the social media
Right.
sites
Okay.
that there
We've
are.
saturated them.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I know Deb does most of that work because I'm
Well,
always seeing pictures
Yes.
come out.
I
And
do the camera. I take the pictures, and that's on. A lot of those are posted on my personal page, which is very political. So I try to not, you know, let people confuse the two things. But we do have a great girl, Dawn Setia, and she does our page for us. And she's an amazing girl. She has 3 small children, but every day she's posting great things for us on our page, and she's wonderful. She knows just what to say and do. And
Now, when you're talking about posting on your page, okay, I also know that you've created a beautiful little turquoise kind of cultural center. Because on occasion, I've been invited, which I've enjoyed tremendously. I had my grandson one day, the kids were out actually playing right in front of the store while there was an art show going on inside.
Yes.
It's basically bringing kids back to Broadway to
Yes.
see that it's a place where you can share family time, have fun, and yet, you know, meet people who are part of the community that are very important people to me.
Absolutely.
In the community. I mean, that's
Yes.
why when I do my shows, sometimes it takes me a while to find someone that I feel is giving as much to the community. And I would like to put it out there that if someone rides by your place and says, I'm not really sure if I want to go in, I've never done this before, you know, to meet you two in person through this way, I think would probably
you.
bring you some business. So let's talk about other things that you've done in your little studio.
Okay. All right. We do a lot of events. We are always working on helping our artists in the community have exposure as well. So throughout the year, we have not just one, but maybe one every month or two.
Really?
An art exhibit, art show. We also have on Friday nights, either once a month or every 2 weeks, we have a girls' night in,
Okay.
where women come together and do all sorts of things, whether it's knitting,
Really?
just hanging out and talking, selling their wares, or whatever it is.
Okay.
It's just helping women get together. We have meet and greet with different people. We're also, well, Debbie's very political, so I don't want to go that route. I'll keep it simple.
Well, Debbie's always had an opinion, and she lets it be known.
Right.
Yes.
But we're not here to
No,
talk about
no,
that
no, we
today.
don't want to do that.
The hot dog really was about as much as Debbie
much.
should be revealing right now. Okay.
I agree.
Exactly.
TMI.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we have. I'm sorry. We have a lot of events. This year, we're hoping to have an summer solstice
I like that.
on the street
I like
for yoga.
that. I love that.
So we're working on doing that as well.
Okay.
We're working on having yoga down the park in the summertime, springtime, summertime.
I have
which we
seen
have done
pictures
some
We have
of
stuff.
done it,
you.
yes.
I think
Right.
it was doing the sun salutation at the Bayonne
That
Bridge.
is correct. That is correct.
That's right.
And so we want to offer a lot of things to the community, not just in the studio, but all over the place. We're trying to also get some men's yoga.
Do
Hopefully
you
for
find
the-
that men are a little more standoffish about it, or
most, not all,
okay,
most, not all, but they're learning.
okay?
They're no longer Neanderthals like we were supposedly used to be.
Well,
But we're trying to reach out to a lot of the firemen and the police officers. I think that they need it more than anybody else.
I think
and
that's
that's what we're
true,
trying to get to.
considering the stress levels that
Yes,
they're all working
absolutely.
under.
Absolutely.
The interesting thing is, I was looking at the paper this week, and I noticed that that a hospital is also offering yoga now.
In Jersey City.
Yes,
they
did you
are.
see that?
Yes,
CarePoint?
I think it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
And I think that
It said it lowers blood pressure,
everything.
depression.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the other thing. Flexibility, obviously,
Offers
keeps
flexibility.
people moving. Well, we have just touched. I think we're at the tip of the iceberg of all the
Yeah.
exciting things that you two are doing here in Bayonne. And we would love to invite everyone to go and see you down
Please,
there.
Thank
please
you.
come
And
visit
I'm
us.
thrilled to have had everyone here, and everyone's smiling, which is a good thing. Once again, thank you for being my guests.
Thank you
you.
for having
And
us.
I hope to see you down in Bergen Point. And
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for a long time to do this. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
You're welcome.